Today, I'm sitting with Iniko. Iniko, what do you do on a day-to-day basis?
Geez, there's not a whole lot other than primarily I work, and then my hobbies consist of gaming, cleaning, cooking, and sleeping as of currently. But I used to play guitar when I had one. Don't really have one anymore.
Why'd you stop?
Well, I don't have a guitar anymore. My old roommate, a couple years ago, yeah, he ended up he said I could leave him in a storage while they move out or whatever, and cause I was living with them, so we were all moving out at the end of the lease, and I went to go pick him up when I was settling in my other place, and he said oh, his friend stole him or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but it was really him that stole him. He just sold him, pawned him off, I guess.
It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and my bed.
Why did he do that?
And my bed.
Why did he steal your bed?
Because he needed money for drugs, I guess. I didn't know he was doing drugs. I thought he was clean.
Uh-huh.
Told me he had a past of drugs, but he seemed really normal. He played it off really well that he wasn't on drugs. But, yeah, he was, and...
Have you ever had your painting done before?
No.
Are you nervous? I'm gonna make it look like shit.
Oh, dude, I don't expect anything more than that.
So, what kind of kid were you in high school?
Class clown,
Uh-huh.
essentially. I was just the funny kid, and I got really I was pretty popular always throughout school.
Mm-hmm.
I dated in second grade I dated quotation marks
Yeah.
dated the hottest girl in second
In
grade.
second grade? Oh, damn.
You know, right?
What was her
She
name?
so- Her name was Brianna. Anyway, I ended up in middle school choking out this kid that was 6'3", 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
He's 6'10" now, somewhere around there, probably 7 foot to be honest. But yeah, I ended up choking him out in middle school, and that really boosted my popularity. It was a friendly match thing, but he was this really popular athlete kid in school, and yeah, I ended up choking him out, and then ever since then I was just I got instant fame around school for some reason. But I was always friends with everyone throughout school and high school, etc., and kind of just making people laugh.
Why'd you fight him?
It was just a friendly hey, you wanna grapple? Yeah, essentially. And he's well, he said that to me, and I was yeah, because word around the school was I was this short little fucking tank that liked to fight,
Mm-hmm.
which I really wasn't, but I don't know, a lot of people knew I boxed my brothers and stuff, and fought people with MMA gloves on before, just get beef out and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess fucking that was that just went around the school really quickly, and then he essentially just came up to me one day and asked if I wanted to, and I'm God, you're literally twice as tall as me, but yeah, I'll do it.
Do you feel did you feel like you needed a fight?
No.
Why did you want to fight?
Oh, just because I knew I could beat him,
Uh-huh.
and then that would just keep the reputation going.
Yeah. What about comedy? Making people laugh. Why is that something you cater towards?
I don't know. It just makes you feel good. It's the best medicine. Laughter is good in any occasion, really.
Uh-huh.
So, you can't really think of something where laughter is a bad thing. Even a funeral, I don't know. Reminisce on how the person was, and make jokes about it.
Well, I think it's becoming a lot more common
To
for
do celebration of life and
yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
not going to a funeral and being so fucking sad and depressed the whole time.
Yeah.
Going there and it's like you said, celebrating that person's life.
Yeah, normalizing that. Which that's what I've grown up to know about is more a celebration of life. But I guess I've never essentially been to a funeral, so I can't say it firsthand. But I've been to a celebration of life.
Yeah.
So.
What was that?
It was just everyone reminiscing, and it was at a bar, but
hey,
small town life, dude.
Yeah. What is the small town life? What does that mean to you?
Everybody knows everybody. I mean, I don't know. Kind of like it's a safe small town. Ride your bikes on dirt roads, kind of childhood, I guess that's really all I...
Do you like the small town life?
Oh, yeah. But I think city life would be nice for a while.
Have you lived in Sandpoint your whole life?
I mean, for the majority, yeah. Yeah, like, technically, like, 98% of it, 99% of it, yeah.
How has drugs and alcohol affected your life?
I mean, for instance, like, I can't even remember what you just asked. I'm just kidding. But you said how
yeah, how has they affected you? How has the impact of, doing drugs and alcohol? Do you think it has affected your life positively or negatively?
I mean, both, realistically. Like, I mean, everyone's kind of got to get through that phase, I feel like, at some point in their lives. I mean, preferably when you're in your teenage years, you want to get that out, but I didn't really start partying until I was like 18. But I mean, the only drug that ever really negatively affected my life was coke, and I mean, I did that for less than a year, right around a year.
How did coke get into your life?
It was just like the new thing. Everyone dropped weed and was just doing blow. Yeah. And partying, so I kind of got grouped into it because, like, my best friend at the time was kind of just pushing it, like, selling it throughout town. So, like, it was kind of easy to get.
Do you think this town has a coke problem? Or a drug problem, I should say?
I mean, yeah, but not any worse than most towns, really. I just feel like how close of a community this town really is. It just is a lot more known, like, that who's on drugs and who isn't, I guess,
What drugs have you tried?
Coke's the worst thing I've ever done.
No heroin?
No, not meth, not heroin, not bath salts, but I have snorted DMT at one point.
How was that?
That was the worst experience of my life, bro. Shit you not. Like, it only lasted, like, I think, like, 10, 15 minutes or something. But it feels like it's a century, bro. And, like, literally was the worst feeling in my life, bro. I don't know. You've done mushrooms, right? Okay, so, like, picture the hallucinogens of a mushroom times, like, 20. Just, like, someone just, like, took your... Oops, I just hit the mic. Someone just takes, like, the volume of your high and just puts on max, Like, that's just how it is for a short period of time, like 10, 15 minutes, like I said. Intense, dude. Intense, just like camping, bro.
Like camping?
Intense.
Oh, intense.
But no, super intense, dog. I mean, it just made me cry, really. It was just it was just so much at once. And, like, that was my first time ever doing DMT, but DMT is known as, like, the dream drug. It's the... One second. It's known as a dream drug because it's basically a I can't really describe it too well, so I don't want to, like, sound like I don't want to, like, claim I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
But the gist I got from when I was being told about it was, like, it's basically everywhere. Like, you can collect DMT from, like, the carpet, the grass outside, your clothes. Like, it's everywhere. It's like a natural hallucinogen, essentially. I don't know how they necessarily like, gather enough to, like, make a product out of it, but or how they even go about it. But it's just like a really intense like hallucinogen, and you're supposed to smoke it, and you get a really intense trip. But I snorted it. My first time ever doing it, because my brother was like, "Hey, you want to snort this with me?" And at his time, he was already experimenting with heavier drugs, and he's kind of like already been able to handle that train ride, you know. And I I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like, "Yeah, dude, let's do it." And like he had two little like piles, like tiny little piles, fucking lined out. And then I was like, "All right." He's like, "Go for it." And I snorted it, and like right when I lifted my head up, dude, I turned around and like it looked like the walls were melting, and like all the sounds were just like sounding different, and like things were just like lighting up in different parts of my eyes, like my peripherals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like the strangest thing, dude. I'm like sitting on the couch trying not to freak out, and like my friend is laughing, and I see her just like doing this, just like waving, and it's like it's supposed to be funny,
Yeah.
you know, like haha, she's. But I'm like, dude, I'm getting sick. I'm like getting nauseous. Like, I feel like I'm on like a ship ride, and I'm just like getting seasick, you know. It was the weirdest thing. I start freaking out. I like hyperventilate. I run to the bathroom. I'm like grabbing like the shower curtain. I'm like rubbing on my face because it's cold, and I'm starting to like get like really hot and like freak out. So I'm like rubbing it on my face, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. My friend was like trying to help me, and I guess that only went on for like 10, 15 minutes. Again, I don't know the exact time frame, but it was right around there. But like I thought it was honestly like a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
I literally was like dreading it. I never want to do it again, so I haven't.
How has that affected your life?
It hasn't really. Like,
What do you mean?
It's just really a story. Now.
You don't stay awake at night thinking about that?
No.
Why not?
I don't know. It's not like.
I'm sorry.
I mean, no. It's just like it's not didn't like really traumatize me.
Yeah.
Something that has traumatized me though is I went into anaphylactic shock one time.
From what?
Allergies. Like I ate 2 fucking cherries at my friend's house. And I didn't know I was allergic to cherries, but essentially, or not essentially, but apparently allergies change every like 7 years or something. So apparently they must have changed when I was at my friend's house, and I didn't know that I was allergic to cherries, but we're sitting on his kitchen table talking, and like there's a bowl of fruit on the table, and like there's a couple of cherries in there. I'm like, "Hey, can I have those?" And he's like, "Yeah, go for it." And I eat them, and they're like yellowish and like red, and like look like they're not fully ripe, but I mean they're still edible. Like they're, you know, they weren't the best, but I was just like really craving a couple cherries, and I'm eating them, and bro, all of a sudden my fucking face starts swelling up like really fast, and then like my lips, and I can feel like acid coming up through my chest.
Yeah.
And I can feel it like coming up here, and I feel my throat closing, and it's all happening right at like the same time, dude. And I'm like freaking out. I'm trying to explain to my friend, but like without puking all over the place. And I'm like, dude, I'm not able to breathe. And he's like, whoa, dude, you don't look good. Right after he said that, like everything started becoming blurry and whatnot, and like I had to go and make myself puke in his bathroom, and like fucking dude, I was like both my arms were like swollen up and stuff, and dude, it was scary. I thought I was gonna die. Honestly, don't know how I didn't, to be honest.
Did you go to the hospital?
No, but I think I had an EpiPen at my house, and he was like my next door neighbor. I can't remember exactly how the ending of it went down, to be honest. But
how was that made? Continue.
Oh no, I was just saying that was a freaky moment in my life. That felt like that was probably the closest near-death experience I've ever had, hands down. I could feel like it sounds like crazy, but I could almost feel like my soul leaving my body at one point, dude. It was like I was like not getting any air.
What is that like? Your soul leaving your body?
Bro, it's just scary. Like you literally are like so scared. I don't know. And there's nothing you can do about it. And like at that point, I was almost accepting. Like I might not make it right here. Like, that's how quick it changed, too. Like, my emotions, you know? Because, like, at one point, I literally thought, like, I'm going to die at my friend's house right now. Like, I cannot breathe at all. Never had an allergic reaction like that. Like, I had to look up what happened to me. And, like, someone told me what happened. They're like, I'm pretty sure you just went into an anaphylactic shock. I think it was his mom or something. And because I can't remember if she was home the whole time or if she just got home. But I just remember at, like, the end of it, she's coming into the room and she's like, oh, my God, blah, blah, blah.
How old were you?
About, like, 15, I think. 15, 16 at the time.
When you do die and you're on your final resting place, what do you want to look back on in your life and see?
Damn, dude. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't really have anything that special or spectacular, I guess.
Why not?
I don't know. Like, what moment could I relive?
No, like, what you're still very young. So it's like, what do you want to do with your life? You know, what do you want to look back on and think and see, you know, as you know, like, what do you just want to look back on in your life? Not, like, what do you do not want to regret? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to accomplish?
Well, like, what I would want to do before I die and accomplish would be, well, one of two things. Either become kind of like a sketch comedian or, like, kind of like Key and Peele, stuff like that. Or, like, just like a movie comedian, like, become, you know, almost, I guess, become famous in, like, that sense. So just, like, from comedy, like, I'd love to, like, make a living off that. But I guess the other one would be cooking. Like, I want to own, like, my own restaurant at one point. I kind of run that, but I feel like right now I want to just kind of get out of the restaurant business as far as I'm concerned right now, just so I can, like, make more money. I feel like, yeah, I'm 26, I'm getting older, but I also feel like I gotta remember, like, I'm still really young.
Well, think of it this way.
Like, I have time, dude. I can move on. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Think of it this way. The average lifespan is 80 years old. You're not even halfway there yet.
Yeah.
For me, who's 20, I've just reached the quarter, right? I'm about to turn 21, right? But it's like, I just reached the quarter. And for you, you're only 4 or 5 years older than me.
Yeah.
You know, you're not even halfway there yet. So there's still so much, there's just so much more out there to experience and to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, I agree 100%, dude. I'm like, you know, I want to get all of this done. And I think about all these things I want to do. And, like, you know, you always hear those motivational videos about going doing it and getting it done. And, like, I get that. But at the same time, like, there's no time limit, dude. Like, I can take care of my life and try to get shit, I guess, handled more of an adult, as an adult, for the next 4 years if I want. And just, like, focus on just, like, I guess, becoming, like, learning how to be on my own and still, like, because it's still hard, dude. I can't, I went an adult, shit.
Continue.
But, yeah, like, you know, I'm still young. I could like, go for my career change at the age of 30 if I wanted, you know what I mean? Like, there's no specific, I don't have to go and get it done right now. Like, I could go back to college when I'm 45 years old if I wanted to, and, like, you know, you're never too young to go and get something accomplished. And, like, I don't want to live, like, feeling like I'm rushed into having to do everything right now. Like, I don't feel like I have to go do that right now.
I think that's very wise.
You know what I mean?
No, I think you're totally right. I think we do live in, like, at least, like, in America, it is set up like that. For example, like, you have to move out of your parents when you turn 18. You gotta fucking do it.
Yeah.
Sadly,
or you're a bum, or, like, you're scared to get judged for not doing it.
And it's like some people sadly get kicked out, you know. But then there's some people, what was I trying to say? There's people that get kicked out, and then those are seen, as, what would you call it? Like not a bum, but like a delinquent, right?
Yeah.
Someone that kicks out of their parents' house as soon as they turn 18, because that's like the societal norm. But then you flip it, and someone who lives with their parents after they're 18 is seen as a bum or a loser.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so. I think the reason is because we are so harsh on ourselves and on other people, because especially now more than ever, there's the added survival, like, you have food and water. There's the next thing of competition, right? With the internet and social media, you have to be better than this person over here.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I think we're all competitive, and I think we all look at each other and not necessarily like dwell over it, but I think at some point you do look at what your friends are doing and you compare yourself. I don't think there's anyone that's not out there that doesn't do that.
It's self like judging almost, like you're comparing yourself to others naturally, and as humans we all naturally want to compete. We're all very competitive. It's in our nature, as long as rebelling and doing the opposite of what we're told. It's kind of like human nature and whatnot, and so like it's a very like sticky situation, dude, because that men's mindset is still drilled into people's heads. More than half people, like I know even personally, like I feel like that mentality is drilled into their head. Like, I have to get this done, like, here, or this is how I was raised, so this is how it's got to be. And it's like, no, dude, like, you don't, like, bro, you can do this shit whenever, like, you're ready to do it. And, like, you're, because I feel like you hit that point in your life where you're, like, it's the perfect time to capture that opportunity. Mm-hmm. But, like, as of right now, like, dude, I have so much other, like, more immediate things to worry about. Like, I need to make sure my rent's paid right now. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's why I'm working the job I'm working right now. I'm just, like, kind of figuring out still, but, like, while I'm trying to survive at the same time. I can't just sit around and not do anything until I figure out what I want to do, because, unfortunately, that's not the way life works, but it would be nice.
Yeah.
But you can't, it's like people can tell me, like, well, why don't you go do that right now? Like, why don't you? And it's like, well, why? Why would I want to do everything right now, even if I could? But I can't afford to, like, live out my dreams right now. Mm-hmm. But I will if, like, that's what I'm striving towards,
Well, it's also like, you never just... I don't think you really know what you want until, maybe your 40s.
Yeah.
Maybe your 30s. I just remember this one lady I was talking to, and I don't want to, on the podcast, Courtney, and I don't want to say that I'm right in this scenario, and I don't want to say that or, like, assume anything on Courtney, but I remember talking to her, and she wanted to be a writer and, like, live out in the woods and be a writer on her own and, that kind of lifestyle. And, that just never happened because of her, life. But now she works at a nursing home and she helps people every day. And she, says in the episode that she loves it. So it's like, she would have never have known that she loves helping people if she lived out in the woods by herself, writing books, So it's like, I think, I've said this multiple times, so let me ask you this. Do you think everything happens for a reason?
Oh, yeah.
And what are things in your life that looking back on, you're like, holy fuck, that sucked, but I'm so glad that happened because everything, happens for a reason?
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess losing a couple friends, I felt like that needed to happen for a reason, to realize I was wasting my money on complete BS and not really being smart with it. Mm-hmm. So, like, I had my priorities messed up, and when I kind of cut some toxic people out of my life, I fucking ended up, you know, going to a somewhat better place. But yeah, I mean, I know things happen for a reason. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I can't think of like a prime example right off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely had those moments, and I do believe everything does happen for a reason, hands down.
What would you like to have happen in the next year?
In the next year?
You know, what would you like? Because we were talking about how you don't have to do everything right now, right? So what would you like to do right now? You know, what are your current goals? You know.
Well, right now my current goal is really, I guess, just getting driving, taken care of, you know. I feel like that's something I should have had done already, but that's definitely like number one on my list. And then number two is really just, I really want to like, oh, I'm gonna cough, excuse me.
No worries.
I really want to like, right now I want to switch my career. And just kind of see where I want to go.
What?
See if like, like, I'm gonna enjoy anything else other than like, oh, I'm like choking. Sorry.
No worries. This is why I got the water. I was just gonna say, why not go to like cooking school, you know, or a different. I mean, I guess scratch that. Fucking get rid of what I just said. I think you should try to do something different because you have done culinary work for, I mean, you tell me, I don't know.
Yeah, I went to culinary arts for a little bit already.
Oh, okay.
And like, on top of having quite a bit of line cooking experience. But yeah, I definitely have had that. I didn't graduate, which is really a bummer because like that was a big goal I did have at the time in my life. I didn't graduate because holy crap. I didn't graduate because I started missing too many classes because my situation I was in at the time, like I was on probation, and then I was also I was living in Sandpoint in Coeur d'Alene, which is an hour away. It was where the school was at, obviously, and it was full time, and I was also working. So like, I had to like figure out if like where I could stay in Coeur d'Alene. Found a couple of friends' houses, and they just were all like, well, you could stay there for a couple nights here and there, and like I didn't really think it through in the long run because I wasn't able to like go there every single day and then be able to stay there because like I don't know, it would have just been easier to stay there because I had to end up getting a job down there too. So like it would have been nice to kind of like temporarily live down there, but I couldn't, and I ended up having to come back because like all like my like I was kind of like working part-time in Sandpoint and then like working part-time down there. So like I had the job down here too, and then I had probation down here, but I don't know, man, it was really stressful. It was too much. Like I couldn't figure out a proper schedule, so I ended up missing classes too much, and I ended up having to like withdraw from culinary arts. But I'd like to go back eventually. And I guess right now I just kind of want to switch careers and see if I enjoy anything else.
What has your interests?
Construction, trades,
construction
of somewhat.
I can tell you right now that you're. Construction.
Yeah, I've done insulation before, and I know that's not like necessarily construction.
I guess,
but it's in the same category, and I didn't mind it at all. Like, I enjoy the physical labor kind of work. I don't like the mental stress, and like that's all cooking is. It's a bunch of mental work, and like I guess I would like to own my own restaurant one day, but I think like I'd rather like kind of switch it up right now and then like come back to it when before I burn myself out on it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
What I was trying to say, when I was rudely interrupting you, I keep doing that. Sorry, is that I have that stigma and that judgment towards construction because I am an artist, you know. So to me, it's like I just shouldn't have said that. You know, it's mean for me to say that because I don't know what makes other people happy. I know it makes me happy. So when I hear like construction, like I wouldn't be happy doing that.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't talk shit on someone that does construction because I'm not that person. I don't know what it's like. You know, it could be the fucking funnest job in the world.
Yeah. Well, like I mean, I guess I'm a little familiar with construction.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I've worked on sites with other construction crews, like drywallers, painters, masoner. I don't even know how you say that, masonries.
Yeah, like
rock people.
Yeah,
and you know people like that, and like they're all cool and like whatnot. And the work itself wasn't like super bad. You kind of go at your own like normal pace. It's like heavy lifting and heavy working. You have to. There's definitely mind work. Like you have to have good work ethic and shit, and it's hard. But I don't know, it's not like a mental game like cooking. And the reason like I was saying that is because in Sandpoint, like that's really where the money's at. Is construction. Like it's just kind of what it is. Like we're either a mill or a construction town, you know. And I guess that's just where the big bucks are. I kind of just want to like find something different right now that is like gonna be like definitely taking care of me. More than what I'm doing right now, I guess. And it will keep me active, and it's a trade, so like I'll learn along the way. So that's kind of what I'm thinking like I want to do, but again, not 100% on that either. But I don't know, I kind of want to just get into find something else and become good at it. And I feel like when I can pick something up, I definitely can learn it really well. And like I definitely have a passion for learning new things. So I don't know, I'm not 100% on exactly what I'd want to do for a career switch up.
What is your favorite memory?
Favorite memory?
Yeah.
Ooh. Man, I gotta think this one out for a minute.
Take your time.
Favorite memory? Gosh, I don't know. To be honest, I mean, I feel like I've had a bunch of good memories, but I can't really like point one out that like stands out more than any other one. I don't know. I guess winning like upwards to $1,000 one day at the casino.
Oh yeah, what was that like? Like
that was just on my 22nd birthday. That's what made it like special for me. So like, I don't know, dude. It was like my 22nd birthday. I'm at the casino with my buddies, and I'm just hitting random shit on the blackjack table. It's like an electronic one. I'm just hitting random shit because I'm kind of drunk, and I ended up like winning and winning and winning and winning on it, and I eventually cashed out like $600 on that, and then won a couple $100 other dollars on a couple other machines. I was just like winning all night, and I don't know, it was just a fun night. I had my buddies around and whatnot, and I don't know, it was just like it was just a good time, like no drama that day or anything. So I guess that's a good memory. I mean, my favorite though, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have like a favorite memory. I feel like I can't put one over the other.
No worries. What about ghosts? You have any ghost stories?
Ooh. I might indeed.
What do you mean?
I don't know, like, every time I talk about this, it gives me, like, the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, man. That's how you know it's a good story.
I don't know if it's going to be a good story for you, though.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like I don't build up the climax as well as I want to.
Well, here's your time to practice in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah, but the thing is like, are you going to nut if I, like, try to make you nut, you know? Like, that's what I'm going for.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just joking, but, like, it's not, I guess it's not anticlimactic, but it's like, I don't know, like, it's just hard to talk about sometimes, because, like, when I'm talking about it, I'm just, like, and I just remember how
you got, like, PTSD from it.
I remember how I felt at the time, and it just gives you that, like, that eerie feeling, dude. You're like, God damn.
Total PTSD. Now you have to tell it, like, I'm forcing
you.
Oh,
no, it's not happening.
Bro.
No, I'm just joking. Yeah, give me a minute. Let me coop up my thoughts real quick.
No worries.
Well, I was living in Kootenai, in Swamp Town here, and there's this girl, like, I don't really know how to describe her. Like, she was a friend, but, like, I really liked her, and I think she liked me as well.
Yeah.
But we just never, like, actually, like, wanted to, like, go out. Like, we were really good as friends, too.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think this is kind of, like, how it stuck. We were never, like, friends with benefits or anything. But she was just a cool chick, and she lived in my neighborhood, and I think one night I, like, talking to her on Facebook, and it's, like, gosh, I think it's, like, around midnight around this point, and I'm messaging her. I'm like, hey, do you want to, like, meet up at the park and, like, hang out and whatnot? And she's like, yeah, like, let's hang out. I'm wide awake, and blah, blah, I'm down, and so, like, she lives at down the main road. I live up the main road a little bit, and we meet at the park right in the middle. And, everything's going fine. I'm burping all of a sudden. Everything's going fine, and, like, we're talking and whatnot. And then, like, we're sitting at, like, this park bench, and there's this house, and it's, like, a 2-story house, and the second story, one of the lights in the window, like, allergies now. Everything's just trying to
Yeah, dude, you're going all over the place.
Shit. But she's sitting facing me, obviously, so, like, the window is behind her. But I'm, like, talking to her, and I'm listening to her, and then the second story window light, it comes on, like, I can see it in my peripheral, and I look up, and it's like this. It's like kind of like a view like that. It's like look up real quick, and then like it turns off right when I look at it. And I'm like, huh, like maybe it's just ironic they're going to bed or whatever. Yeah. And then like it does it again, and right when I look at it, it turns off again. I'm thinking, okay, ironic again. Maybe they forgot something. They're going to bed. Like in my head, I'm thinking all this while I'm listening to her, you know. And I'm like trying to like play it off, and then dude, it does it like 6 more times, bro. Turns on every time I look away. But as soon as I look at it, it turns right back off, dude. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. And I thought that was just really weird. And I tell her about it when she gets done talking. And she tries timing it out, and she does. And she's like, that's kind of like really creepy, actually. And I'm like, yeah, do you want to just like, I mean, it's kind of getting late anyway. You want to just go home and I'll walk you home or whatever? And she's like, yeah, we can go. And I was like, okay, cool. So we're walking, and I'm walking her home, and I'm like, we cross the main, it's called Main Street in Kootenai. We cross Main Street, go down her side road. I say goodnight, and like I'm walking back, and like right as I'm turning around to walk back to the main street and go to my house, there's this guy coming off like the highway, and he's like walking. He's not in a car or anything, and like. Oh, I forgot to mention, sorry. I seen him walking before I, like, get done walking her home. So, like, he's walking off the highway. And anyway, as I'm walking back, like, he's just passing you know, like, here's Main Street. He's walking on Main Street. Like, he just passed the road as I'm turning around. About to go follow his direction, essentially. And as he's passing, I'm looking at him, and he's, like, hands in his pocket. And he has, like, this, like, he looks like Inspector Gadget, dude. He has this fucking, like, what's it called? The thing on your neck, like, on flannels and coats, like, the neck part. Collar, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has that, like, straight the fuck up, dude. And, like, he has, like, a fedora on.
Yeah.
And, like, it's, like, has a bunch of pockets on his
Yeah,
jacket.
dude.
Straight, like, Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Like, go fucking drug addict, whatever, dude. I don't know if he was really a drug addict or not, but he's walking really fast, dude. Like, he's mobbing, dude.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't cold out, and I don't know why he had that jacket on. It was a summer night, so, like, I was in a T-shirt.
Yeah.
And it was, like, 1 o'clock, not 1 o'clock, sorry, like 2:30 almost.
At night. Like,
at
so
night, in the morning,
Yeah.
At this point, right? And, yeah, and so I'm like kind of just checking him out. I'm like, that guy's dressed really fucking weird. Like, that's not normal. But all right. And you'll find out why I point that out later in the story, I guess. Because, like, it doesn't make sense to me. But I'm like, okay. And I'm, like, walking, and I hit Main Street, and I start walking down, and I'm, like, on my phone, not really thinking about the guy. And I'm, like, so there's a 4-way stop in Kootenai down on Main Street, and, like, there's obviously a street light right above it, and I'm, like, right there, and I look up, dude, right when I hit, like, the crossroads, and he's, like, right next to my street at this time, which is a few streets up, and like I said, he was mobbing, dude. I was like, holy fuck, he got up there quick. Anyway, right when I look up, I see him, and he's right next to my street, and all of a sudden he just fucking, like, falls over, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Like, it's like a cartoon. Like, you've seen Family Guy, right?
Yeah.
So, like, when Peter falls over, like, really quick, that's literally what it looked like, bro. I'm like, what in tarnation did I just witness, dude?
Yeah.
And my heart, like, starts racing, and I stop, and I'm like, under the street light at the 4-way stop, I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
just, like, is he okay? Like, at this point, I'm thinking, like, I should probably go help this guy.
Yeah.
Like, go check on him. Like, he might have just, like, had a heart attack or something. I don't know what the fuck just happened, dude.
Uh-huh.
There's not, like, a deer or a car or anything that hit him. He just fucking, like, oh, okay. You know, fucking broke his own neck, dropped dead. But, no, you fucking, I take no more than, like, 5 steps continuing to go forward. And all of a sudden, I just see, like, his fucking, like, arms, dude, like, dragging himself. But, like, he's not, like, going towards the direction he was going in originally. He's, like, dragging himself towards my direction now. And I'm like, stopping. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Was it his arms? And then it starts doing it again. And it looks like he has no lower half. It looks like he's, like, dragging. I keep hitting this.
No worries.
It looks like he keeps dragging himself. Like, he has no legs. And he looked like it's all, like, you know, like, monster-like, dude. It's all like he's, like, possessed. It's all, like, crickety and crackly and fucking just dragging himself. It looks like he was struggling so hard, and I'm, like, looking at him just coming toward, like, he's far away from me. Like, not far, but, like, a few streets down still. Like, he's not, you know,
like,
no legs.
Like
I'm I'm like, no, dude. That'd be fucked. But no. You know, he's not making any progress towards me, but it's just the direction he's coming. And I'm like, dude, do I keep walking this way, or do I just, like, in my head, I'm like panicking, dude. I'm like, do I turn around and, like, just go to Amanda's house and, like, tell her about it? Like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to walk down the street, but I have to. And my heart is racing at this time. And yeah, dude, he ended up fucking, like, just, like, kind of crossing the street and coming down the street, and I see him fucking just, like, trying to crawl, and I don't know, like, why he's, like, I don't know what happened to this day, but anyway, I'm like, okay, I gotta get home, though. I was like, I can't go back to Amanda's house. Like, I have to get home. So, like, I, like, take a deep breath, and I just, like, let's go, you know, and I fucking walk down, and I don't see his arms doing that anymore. I don't see him. or anything, and I'm like walking. I cross the street to like the opposite side of where I saw him crawl, and I was like kind of sketched out, and I hit that point where he was at, and I'm like, I like walk across the street to go like see if he's like in the ditch or anything, and dude, there's like not a sign of him anywhere, bro.
Yeah.
Like like the field across the ditch is like completely mowed. Like it just got mowed like that day.
Yeah.
So there was like no, like he wasn't hiding in the tall grass or anything, dude. It was like completely flat land right there.
Yeah, like no broken grass or anything.
No,
like,
dude, it was completely flat. And dude, I'm looking, I shine my phone camera all over, dude, and he's not anywhere. Anywhere, bro. Anywhere. Like I even walk up and down the street a couple times, like not like the whole street, but like a good little like quarter size down the street on both ends, looking for him. And I can't find him anywhere in sight, bro. Anywhere in sight. And basically that just like gave me nightmares like for weeks after.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it was just, I don't know, like I said, like I couldn't build the climax up as much as I wanted.
No, dude, that was perfect. Honestly,
was it?
That was fucking perfect. That was a great story. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like I'm not even just saying that. Like that's fucking scary, dude.
Dude, trippy, bro.
What do you think that is? Like, what do you think that was?
So,
did you like some like research?
No, I didn't really necessarily do any research, but what I've kind of concluded is like what I saw, I felt like was a reenactment of how that guy died.
Yeah.
Back in the day, because notice how I said that he was like wearing like a big jacket and fedora, and I feel like maybe that was just like a ghost, like because it was like 2 a.m. or whatever. Like it's kind of when like the spirits kind of wander the earth and shit. I feel like, and
for sure,
after midnight, I feel like it's kind of like when they want to, and I felt like it was just his spirit reenacting like how he died, like. Really, like I just feel like that's what it was, like, cause he was nowhere to be found, dude. Like he wasn't down my street anywhere. I didn't ever see him get up. My eyes were glued where he was at, And so yeah, I think he was a dude from like the 50s or something that lived down in that area. And
like, do you think he lived in that house?
Well, he didn't die next to a house necessarily. He died on the street.
But like you saw that light, you know what I mean? So what if that used to be his house? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I mean, maybe his property used to, but, like, he walked past that house.
You just kicking that scared the fuck out of me. I'm not even, like, I heard that noise. I was like, dude. Was that the door?
Was that him?
Dude, what if that was him, bro? That's fucking scary. No, that's a scary story.
Yeah. I assume because of the way he was dressed, it was just someone from years ago.
What year was it? Or not year, what time of year was this?
What time?
Yeah.
Summertime.
Summertime?
Yeah. So, because, bro, like, I don't know, like I said, the way he was dressed and everything, like, and the way he fell over, like, I mean, it felt like I just watched, this guy wanted me to see how he died.
Do you think, like...
And he, like, died from a heart attack, it seemed like. He, like... And then tried crawling to safety or something and, like, died right where I saw him stop crawling, essentially. It's like...
When he was walking, did you see he have feet? Did you see him have feet?
Well, it looked like, yeah, he had shoes on. It looked like it looked real as fuck.
Yeah.
So, like, that's why I'm thinking on the other hand, like, maybe it wasn't, like, just a spirit or anything. But what if it was stronger? What if it was, like, an entity or something? I don't know.
Like, what if it's a sign?
Yeah.
Like, what if that's you? You know what I mean? Like time paradox, you know?
Yeah. They're like, hey, here's how you're gonna die, fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've thought of that, like running into my older self in the future, like, what's it called?
Doppelganger? No, not doppelganger.
Like a fucking, like a paradox, you know? Like a time paradox where, like, you know, like, time just like bends on itself on accident, and then like I'm in a Walmart and I see, and like I like nothing happens, like I just walk right past him, right? But like what if I walked past like my older self when I'm like 50 and like he knows but I don't know, you know? Like he's like this just is some fucking old guy looking at macaroni, but he knows, like he like it's like a fucking movie, you know? He's been in the time paradox for like too long, damn it.
Yeah.
You know? and it's like he's like
too long,
me,
you
know?
Yeah, dude.
That's scary, bro. You got me fucking scared right now.
Well, I guess not right now. I guess I told that a little better than I usually do, but because I usually choke up. But yeah, no, when it happened, I was fucking frightened, dude. I definitely was. Like, just the fact that it was like 2 a.m, I'm by myself. I see that so surreal. Like, it was so real.
Yeah.
Like, it happened right in front of me, dude.
Like, there's no way it could have been something else.
Yeah,
like,
there's no way I'm just blowing this out of my ass. Like, this is, like, literally what I saw, bro.
Yeah, I totally believe you.
And, yeah, man, it was really freaky, dude. I literally could not sleep for a while after that.
Yeah, I
messaged my friend right when I got home after.
Uh-huh.
Like, the same girl, and, like, telling her about it and telling her, like, I'm so scared right now. Like, I kept looking out my window, like, dude, I closed my blinds. I kept peeking out the blinds and shit and, like, making sure there was no one at my door for a couple of nights after that.
That's scary, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about as crazy as my ghost stories get. My mom has a pretty fucked up one, too, but...
Do you know it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could tell the gist of it, yeah. She was 19. She wasn't pregnant with any of us yet. It was, like, right before she got pregnant with my oldest brother. But, my oldest brother. Mm-hmm. But she was living here in Sandpoint, and she, sorry. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, she was staying at one of our family friends' houses in their attic. You know, this is way back in the day, so, like, that was more normalized. Like, she was, like, living in their attic, whatnot, and she was, like, 19, like I said, or whatever, and she told me, like, one night she was sleeping, and she had, like, this weird, like, just one of those times where you wake up randomly, like, out of nowhere, and whatnot, like, you almost like someone's watching you, or, like, you just get, like, a weird feeling, so you wake up. She said it was just, like, one of those things, and she, like, kind of, like, peeked her eye open, and she saw this silhouette lady, of, like, a ghost of a lady holding a baby, and she was, like, standing there on the other side of the room looking at my mom, and my mom's, like, remember, she's up in the attic of this really old house, so, like, I mean, I'm sure, like, she's probably scared shitless. But, yeah, she just sees this lady, like, holding a baby, and then, like, she, like, clenches her eyes really tight, and she rolls over really fast. She's, like, pretending that didn't just happen, you know? And, like, of course, you know it happened, like, whatever. And so she, like, opens her one eye like this, you know, and looks, like, at, like, on where she just rolled over, and she opens up her eyes, and the ghost is, like, on the other side now, and right next to her, like, kneeling down, and, like, handing her the baby. Dude. And she sets down the baby, and then she disappears. Like, the baby and her disappear. And my mom said, and then, like, that was it. Like, that was it. And then, like, I guess, like, a couple weeks down the road after that, she found out she was pregnant with my brother.
That's fucking scary,
yeah.
Dude. Dude, what the fuck? Your portrait's, like, looking so fucked up right now because we're just talking about such scary shit.
Really?
You just look scary as fuck. Dude, that's not cool. We gotta talk about, like, some heartwarming stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like puppies, you know?
That's not cool, dude.
It's something. Fuck.
I feel like you kind of brought in the ghost talk.
I did, but, like, I wasn't, like, that's, like, legit, you know?
Yeah.
It's, like, legit fucking... It wasn't like, yeah, I saw my grandpa when I was like 7. I was like, no, dude, I saw this fucking ex-girl from The Ring fucking guy version. Dude, and like the baby prophecy shit. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I know. Doesn't that give you chills, dude?
No, that shit's terrifying. I'm not sleeping tonight. That's why, that's like straight up though. Like, that's, like, I sleep with Christmas lights on.
Yeah.
I've always slept with lights on because, like,
hey, don't get me wrong, dude. I have my TV on, too.
Yeah.
And, like, think about it. Like, tonight, my roommate's in Boise, bro. Like, I'm going to be by myself.
Dude,
and I'm going to remember telling you this story. I'm I'm gonna spook myself.
You're even setting yourself up more because then you remember you said this.
I'm gonna like sleep and like roll over and open my eye and there's gonna be like a demon right here in my face. It's like, hey Nico. Remember me? Takes off for
dude, right? Where do you think he went? You know, if you had to guess, like
heaven or hell?
Like I don't know, like the demon realm, the place from Beetlejuice.
I feel like those are just spirits that never moved on to the afterlife, like into the spirit realm. That's why they're still here on Earth, you know.
So
I feel like they're healed souls.
Yeah. What do you think happens when we die?
I think it's lights out, bro. To be honest.
But what about, you just said spirit realm and all that shit?
I think it's lights out, like as far as like your consciousness. Like I don't think you know your body's gonna move into another. Like your spirit's gonna move into another soul. Like I don't think I don't think you know, like you can feel your spirit and be your spirit. You know what I mean? I feel like you're separated consciously from the spirit. I feel like it's kind of just like, I don't know. I feel like you don't have consciousness until you're into like a human body or like a body of like an animal or like a bug or something that's alive.
So what do you think deja vu is then?
What do you think deja vu is?
What do you think deja vu is?
I think it's something that has happened to you before and ironically happens almost the same way again.
But like, what if it's like somewhere that you've never been before? Have you never had that happen before?
Gosh, now that I can't remember. I mean, probably if it's a normal thing.
I just asked for me. I've had deja vu, you know, in places I've truly never been before. No fucking way. I've never been here before, and I've had deja vu. You know, so it's like, what is that? What do you make of that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
And like
maybe you've dreamt about it before.
But like I've never been there before. You know, like I've like truly like nothing about this is like has ever happened before. But
what place?
I went to a college in California. I have deja vu all the time. But this specific example, I went to California and I went to a college and we were like in like the little underbelly where there's like a bunch of graffiti on the wall and I saw this like caterpillar on the wall and it said like because so like to finish that I saw this like caterpillar and I took a picture and it's like I just had like the most intense deja vu and it was a really good feeling. It was like I belong like in this moment, like I'm like in the right place right now. Doesn't like now I don't really want to go to college, but I think it was just more the sense of like you're on the right path, you know. But then later that night, I, you know, granted whatever, I smoked weed, but I got really paranoid, right? Because weed, and my friend also smoked weed, and we went back to his house and we were playing like Super Smash Brothers, and we, you know, I could call him right now if I wasn't using my phone as a camera and I could ask him this and he would totally agree with me that we had deja vu at the same exact time. Like, same exact time.
That's crazy.
Fucking super weird. You know what I mean? So, like, for me, like, I totally believe in, like, I don't know what I believe in, but I just think deja vu is just something crazy. And I think it's a part of something more. I don't think it's like, I don't think it's just nothing. I think it has to do with, like, past lives. What I think from my experience with like mushrooms, and like, I mean, like saying it like that makes it sound like discrediting, but you know, for what I believe in is, I think you know, doing psychedelics doesn't necessarily like make you smarter and like enter in the spirit realm. It's more in the sense of like it opens up your brain more and activates more of your brain, right? Your antenna to reality, as I've heard people say it before, and so you can think more deeply and understand things better, right? Understand things better than you would in this, you know, in this state of consciousness. And I just had to, I've said it multiple times in the story, but like on the podcast, but I've had just this experience where I had this like true epiphany of like, we're gonna be all good. Like life sucks, yeah, but when we die, everything's gonna be fucking dope. Like not heaven, not hell, not sorry, but like not Christ, not Buddhism, not any of the religions that we think of. It's just gonna be good. It's not gonna be darkness and sadness. It's gonna be it's just fine. Like this is just all game almost. Like this is just, we're here to just experience what this is. There's no end goal. There's no like you have to go be you better go do that culinary thing, right? Like how we were talking earlier, like you got to go do this, you got to go do that. It's more just essentially just experience, just to be be Nico, live Nico's life, however Nico decides to live his life, and experience what it's like to be that state of consciousness. And then, for me, what I believe in is after that you die and you get back to like, my mom, she called it the source, right? You die and then you go to the source, right? The thing that was, there's no ending, there's no beginning. It's just always now. It's the source, right? You go back to that place and you're like, in human words, it's like, oh, fuck, dude, that was crazy. I can't believe, like, we made it through Vietnam, I know I couldn't, talking to someone, your soul brothers or whatever. You're like, oh, no, that was fucking crazy, Trump was president, like, I don't know. What do you want to do now? I don't know. Let's go be Mongolians during the what's his name? Genghis Khan dynasty. Yeah, that sounds cool. And then you live that life. And then you just keep doing that forever. There is no end. There is no beginning. There is no point. There isn't. I think that's to go back to like the competition, right? How we're so competitive. I think that's the biggest human flaw. Maybe like that's kind of bold to say, but like what I'm trying to say is like we have this just idea that everything's a competition, that there's an end point. You go to heaven, you go to hell, that's fucking it, right? There is no other option, right, to talk about Christianity. Or for Buddhism, there's the end point of nirvana, right? You got to live the best life and you live all these lives and then you're finally in nirvana. I don't think there is an end point. I don't think there is a point in living other than just living. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I believe that too. I feel like I'm on the same track as you. I feel like I believe in the afterlife. I feel like our souls are constantly looking for another body to capture and kind of like rebirth itself into a human life form and consciousness. Because it's kind of like we need, we need a host. Our souls need a host.
This is just like...
And I feel like they're never, like they don't die, but the host itself dies, so you move on.
Well, like, that's like your ego, to use like Buddhism. Your ego is what you're saying, Iniko is the ego. That kind of rhymed. You shed off Nico once it's time for Nico to die, or whatever, to move on. But your soul is everything. Your soul, we're the same thing. Yeah. There is no difference between us other than the ego. And when we die, we get back to that point of like, everything's the same. There is no stupid bullshit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's it. What I wanted to say. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude. I feel like we're in agreement here.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. I mean, I felt like we were definitely on the same wavelength.
We were making some connections.
Yeah. I felt like we were on the same wavelength.
For sure.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what happens when you die. I feel like you don't know. Like,
yeah. And that's like, that's like the point. The point to fucking keep talking and saying the same thing over and over again. There is no end point. It's just to experience. There is no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
There is no good or bad. It's just to experience what it is to be
human. Right. So yeah, I feel like maybe your soul was once in somebody else, and that's where the deja vu came from. I don't know. That's like, man, I'm not stoned enough for that. In fact, I'm not even stoned right now. That's an issue.
That's an issue. Sorry. It's illegal.
No. Yeah. In some states, right?
So, do you want to go into some deep questions about Nico's ego?
Mm-mm.
No?
I'm just kidding. Like what?
Well, I know a little bit of your past, so let's talk about it. What is it like not knowing your father?
I mean, normal. Because I don't know him.
Yeah.
Like, I guess whatever. I'm aware it would have helped to have a father figure throughout my life. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. I'd probably be driving a lot sooner. I probably would have had more of a understanding of like the real world.
Yeah.
If I had a father figure. So I feel like I'm definitely behind in life because I didn't have one. Mm-hmm. And like I was kind of solely based around a mom that had 2 other kids as well, who was working, with no help, who was working multiple jobs. So it's like she did what she could, but I never got the considerate amount of like substance of a father figure that I needed in my life.
Well, I think also love and affection.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it shows personality-wise that I don't have one or whatever, but I feel like, I don't know if it's bad or good that I haven't met him because I don't know him, Mm-hmm. But from the stories I've heard, I'm sure it's a good thing. Like, threw a full can of Sprite in my brother's head when he was an infant, so
wow.
It's kind of POS from what I heard.
Uh-huh.
But it would have been nice because he had 2 kids that weren't related to my mom, so like I never got to meet them either. And they were older, and one of them, we tried looking them up, and my mom couldn't find one. She found the other one, and he committed suicide, I guess. So I don't know. That kind of sucks, but other than that, I really don't care that I haven't met my dad, to be honest.
Well, I think what you said at the very beginning is very powerful. Is that I asked you, what is it like to not have a dad? And what you said is normal, because you don't fucking know.
Yeah.
It's your life. You know what I mean? And it's like it's not in a bad way at all. That's just who you are, and that's just what you've grown up with, and the cards have been dealt with. And so I just think that's interesting for me to like look at that and be like, oh well, that's different. I have a dad. So what is it like to not have a dad? But you don't, like, it's normal. Do you get that kind of stigma a lot? That judgment almost?
Of not having a dad?
Yeah.
Not really. I guess growing up I did. Uh-huh. But, that's just the ignorance of a child, really. They don't know any better. They don't know that you're not supposed to, that kids go through that. Some kids don't know that,
Kids are ruthless.
Well, yeah, and they're also unaware that, like, people have shittier lives than them. It's just, like, the way it is. So, I guess I kind of grew up, like, with that hindering me just a little bit throughout school, but, again, nothing too sufficient. Where it's gonna affect me throughout my life.
Well, I think it's just like what I said is like it's just you're normal, It's like you don't know any different, and so it's like I'm trying to make a conversation out of it, right? I'm trying to like unlock the secrets, right? Let's get right down to your core and blah blah blah. But it's like there is nothing to get at other than it's just who you are.
Yeah, really, not to be boring about it, but yeah.
Well, you're not boring.
Yeah, I am.
You're really not. I enjoy talking to you.
Yeah.
At our job, and you're very witty when there aren't cameras in front of. Everyone gets camera shy, and I'm not myself at all. I mean, I'm sure you would say that I'm definitely not who I am behind the camera. So I wouldn't, beat yourself up by saying you're boring.
I'm gonna beat myself up. No, yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much the extent of that.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I don't really know where to go from there as far as the dad talk.
Yeah.
But do I ever want to meet him? Yeah, obviously.
Have you tried?
No.
Do you?
I could care less if it happens, to be honest.
Do you have access to it?
No.
You have no
I don't. Yeah, no. There's no communication to him whatsoever. I've never talked to him.
Do you have any memories?
Of what?
Of your dad at all?
No, I've literally never talked. Never, he's never even held me, I think.
So, wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Laugh at me. Laugh at me.
Oh, man.
No, that's it, though.
Why do you think we laugh?
Like I said earlier, dude, laughter's the best medicine.
Mm-hmm.
You have to brighten yourself up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't laugh at everything in life, dude, you're going to take life too seriously.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have a hard time. I feel like life's more about learning, experiencing, and having fun with it.
Yeah. What could you share to someone listening to this? Like, from what you've experienced, and someone who doesn't have a dad either. What advice could you give them, from your place of your stance,
I mean, I guess it really depends to the audience I'm talking to, but if it's someone my age, I mean, I don't know. I guess it would depend how they feel, about the situation as well. I feel like, for me, I could tell someone's your best bet isn't to, really dwell on not knowing who he is, rather than just learning to build around it. That fact. Build your life around everything that unfortunately happens to you or has happened to you. Like the loss of someone, or not, growing up with somebody. It's it's unfortunate the damage we have to take as humans, but it builds character, and that's why a lot of people are unique in their own way. And I feel like it has to happen for a reason. So and again, that brings us back to the point of, do you believe everything happens for a reason? It's I do, because I feel like that happened for a reason, because I mean, what would have happened if I did grow up with him? I would have had probably an abusive dad and turned out way worse. So I kind of just look at the optimistic side of things.
Yeah.
And have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I generally try to make people feel better about the situation. That's my 2 cents on it. I mean, really. If I was to talk to someone about it, I mean, I generally am always one of those guys that puts others before me, too. So, even if I'm bullshitting, how I feel about it, I'd want to say it to them to make them feel better. Not feel as bad about not knowing their dad or anything relatable with my life as well. I don't know. I kind of wish my mom, gave someone a chance to raise us kids throughout our childhood.
Yeah.
But I guess the first person she did date after she wasn't with any of our dads, which we have different dads, by the way, my brothers and I. but she did try dating one guy. He turned out to be really abusive and going to prison and stuff. And so I think she was just like kind of scared to date after that. So I think she chose to be single, but she knew she could do it. And she knew it would be hard, but I mean, I don't blame her. I feel like, having an abusive boyfriend and then having a kid with him and then trying to bring another guy into your life with your 3 kids and he's abusive, like, it's going to scare you from wanting to date anyone,
Yeah.
So.
Do you have a good relationship with your mom?
Yeah. I mean, it's deteriorated over the years. Like, she used to be, like, my number one and whatnot, and, like, she always will be, but, like, I mean, she's definitely, like, sucks to say, but I feel like she's losing it a little bit. And she has been the last couple of years. I feel like she's just angrier all the time and, like, doesn't want to do anything all the time. Everything bugs her. She wants what she wants, and that's it. And it kind of sucks because she used to be very outgoing and fun. Mm-hmm. But also, I mean, I can't hate on her for it because, like, she is getting older and she probably doesn't feel as, like, full of life anymore. But it sucks because it's hard because at the same time, like, she's kind of doing it to herself. Like, she doesn't try to get a bunch of exercise. She doesn't try to, like, like, gain that energy to, like, make you be healthier, I guess. Like, even that natural, like, I'm not saying you have to go to the gym and stuff, but, taking a walk every day and
there's definitely,
eating fruits and stuff, like,
yeah,
drinking water. I mean, she drinks a lot of water and stuff, but it's, like,
there's definitely initiative
to
be put in if you want to get better.
Yeah. I feel like she like knows she has, like, back problems, and so she, like, I don't know, like, she's like poor me almost, and it sucks to say that, but, like, that's kind of like how it is, it's like this hurts it, me,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I get it, Mom, but, like, at the same time, like, you're kind of just sitting in your chair all day watching fucking TV. Doesn't really help with your back,
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Mm-hmm. Like, especially when you sit the way you sit. Like, everyone kind of sits with a hunch, and, if you straighten up your back, go for a walk, like, fucking stretch. Like,
well, yeah, like, even, like, right now, like, I'm trying to sit, like, not slouch because, this is all I do. All I do is, like, sit either in front of my computer or in front of a painting, so I definitely don't want to get those back problems.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, like, nothing she does now is, like, to be like, my mom's the devil, because she's not, but, man, she's definitely hard to deal with sometimes nowadays. But I still love her to death, but it's just, like, I don't know, I hope she gets, like, a second burst of life before the end of it, you know what I mean? Like, I want her to be fun in her last years, dude. I don't know, like, I feel like she's choosing to give up on life already, and it sucks, but tit is,
What does forgiveness mean to you?
Forgiveness?
Forgiveness. What does forgiveness mean to you? For someone that, who has, in his own words, a normal life, but from an outsider, it's fucked up, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So how do you have forgiveness for a lot of the things you've been through, such as, what your mom has put you through and what your dad hasn't, right?
Right.
So, like, how do you, move on, and how do you forgive that kind of, what does forgiveness mean to you?
I mean, I don't know, man, like, I guess I'm a little more understanding than, like, I guess what people would expect. Like, I'm pretty forgiving. I just think, like, I know people make mistakes out of anger, and, I've said things that I don't mean out of anger, and, like, people can make you feel worse and guilt trip you by saying, like, you say what you said when you're angry and that's what you meant, or when you're drunk that's what you meant, and to people, and it's like I understand, like I've been there, so like I know for a fact like I didn't mean what I said at the time. I was just saying it out of emotion to like make him feel bad. So like I guess like I forgive people for their actions, but I'm definitely one of those guys. Like if you keep it up, like I'm gonna just know you're a scumbag, and then like that will like kind of like conclude my decision on you. But if you screw me over, if you disrespect me or something once, and then like you apologize, like I'm more than willing to forgive you. Like shit happens, but you keep doing it, then I know you're just like, catch his hands. That's how I feel. I don't know. Forgiveness isn't like a hard thing for me, and I guess to explain it is like, I mean, forgiveness is just, I don't know. It's forgiveness has to happen in order to heal.
What about depression and suicide? For someone that has had your life, has that something that has come to you?
Oh yeah, hands down. I mean, the way I look at suicide, not suicide, well, suicide and depression, I look at like Chester Bennington from Linkin Park and Robin Williams and Anthony Bourdain. I look at people like that, and I think like I just named off celebrities because they're like recognizable names, but I feel like those are people that struggle like that. That's real depression. Like you're very happy and full of life, and no one would ever guess for a second like this person's fighting demons, because most people that have depression are very, I feel like they'll do everything to hide it. They're not drama queens. They're not attention whores. They don't want people to know and feel bad for them.
Yeah.
They want to do it in peace, because they generally want to have that full of life and put everyone else first and make them happy before they worry about themselves. But then at the end of the day, when they're by themselves, that's all they worry about. And I think that's when it gets the best of them, is when they have no one else to like feel good, or like take care of, I guess. When they have that, just like that loneliness just long enough, it catches up. I think that's where the suicide comes in. But then, yeah, I don't know. I feel like depression is very real. I feel like it's not, I'm sad, my boyfriend broke up with me, now I'm depressed. I feel like it also isn't, it's going to sound bad to say, but I also feel like it's not nearly as common as like it seems like it is. I feel like not, because everyone you talk to will say they have depression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get on the street, you talk to someone about depression for a few minutes, they'll tell you they have it. It's just like the norm now, and maybe that's true, but I just feel like true depression is like you already know what you're gonna do at the end of the day. You don't know when you're gonna do it, but you know you're gonna do it.
Well, I've heard someone say that like true depression is when you, oh man, what was it? It's like true depression is when you stop feeling sad because it will like makes other people feel sad.
Yeah.
And so you fake happiness so other people don't feel it. And it's like it's definitely a tricky topic to talk about, because if you say that, if you call someone you're not actually depressed, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I think at the same time with that, I think humans, and it's goofy saying that, but it's like I just think we, as humans, we just have flaws in our DNA. That, like I said earlier, like that idea of competition has always been a part of our culture. I think, if you want to look back on the 50s, I think, I
That little laugh, dude. I think, what?
Sorry.
That was awesome.
Okay, so what I was trying to say is that the American dream, right?
Yeah, hamburgers and fries.
That's
No, I'm sorry. Keep going.
The American dream back in like the 50s, the 60s, 50s. White picket fence, nice house, family, the perfect family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the American dream. Now the American dream is to, be financially successful. Not, nothing else. Financially successful.
Yeah.
People, are, myself included. I don't know why I keep saying like I'm not, whatever. We look at our phones and we see people that are just better than us in that regard of financial success, and we think we are fucking losers and we are pathetic and we can't do anything to reach their level. Maybe I'm just speaking for myself, right? But
right.
but that's a common problem, because it's the parallel between that 50s and 60s American dream and today is the competition, right?
Yeah.
Trying to be better than everyone, trying to reach that set of success, right? That presenting that idea of happiness is depression, right? We're getting to, everyone is trying to get to that level of presenting happiness, and by doing so creates depression, because people who are actually depressed present happiness.
Yeah.
Do you get that parallel? Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Pulled it all together.
So then I guess it brings to the topic, what's true happiness?
Yeah. What
it
do
makes
you
you think? Well, what do you think?
I don't know. What do you think?
What do you think?
I want to know what you think.
I want to know what you think. But no, fine.
How about you tell me what you think?
Okay, and then you'll base your decision off mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to make my guests happy.
I think true happiness is when the negative thoughts
I think
that you're used to just stop happening. Like, you're not stressing yourself out. You're not worrying about this or that. And I think it takes a lot to get there, but I think true happiness is like, yeah, this is when you don't let everything put a mental obstacle on you at all times. Like, I feel like when you're okay with everything and like you wake up in a good mood, like, that's true happiness. I don't think it has to do with anything with like materials or like.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
Real quick? I think, if I may, I think a good way of saying of what you're trying to say is when you give up, and not in a bad way. When you give up the expectations of everything, like your own expectations, when you just give up and live in the present moment of what your reality is, and just be here and experience, not trying to reach that end goal that doesn't exist.
Exactly. I think you're right on the nail with that, because like stop. No, because I mean, when you have, it's unfortunate, because everyone in your life will tell you, like, set goals, have a goal in life, have bucket list, have this, and yes, you do want that, but unfortunately the redundant part about that is that's like, if you feel like if you don't reach your goal, that's gonna tear you down mentally. Like, you're gonna be like, I'm a fucking failure. Like, I suck. I hate my life. Maybe not that bad, or maybe way worse, because like, really though, I mean, when you have the idea of like, all right, these are goals I'm gonna reach, and then you don't reach them, like, that's gonna shoot you into depression.
Well, for me,
I mean, realistically.
For me, like, sorry to like.
No, you're good.
For me, it's like when I don't do something, like, this is just for me and like my own demons, like when I like don't do something productive, I get very hostile to myself. I get very mad at myself. I'm like, you fucking loser. Look at you. You're just laying in bed watching South Park, Family Guy. You're a fucking loser. You know, get up, do something. But it's like, that's the voice of like, what it's like. When you talk negatively on yourself, you're talking in other people's voices. You know, so like that's not even my own voice. That's someone else's voice that's saying those things because I made that up, thinking that I need to be better than where I'm currently at. Another thing I've heard like that I think is so true is like, and it's related, but it's different. Where it's like we spend so much time worrying about the future and how we're going to conquer the problems of the future that we forget to live in the present, and by doing so the problems of the future show up in the present and we don't know what the fuck to do because we were preparing so much for this that this over here came in and attacked us and now we're fucked. Basically saying like you can't do shit about that, you just have to live in the present, and by living in the present you will be able to solve the problems of the future. Something more eloquently put than that, but you get what I'm saying.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think that kind of roots back again to, you know, like you don't have to rush and get everything done right now.
Yeah.
You're not on a time limit. Like, maybe you are. I guess in life you're always technically on a time limit. You could die right, you know, right after this. Yeah.
MacBook, you could die right now. This is 2014. It's getting old.
Yeah.
Blows up right now. We die.
Or someone shoots the fucking bullet through a window and kills both of us. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully. But, like... No, but I mean, like, you know, you're not... You know, you got to realize, like, death is inevitable, right? And life is temporary. So, why get everything done right now and then, like, not be happy because your body's giving up on you, your brain's giving up on you at an early age because you're just so focused on, you know, making other people only talk good about you. Yeah. Because you're doing well. But if you're doing bad, people are going to talk bad about you, and now you're worrying about that, and you don't want that to happen. So.
Well, it's also like to go into like to go with you is like by doing so you're missing so much of life.
Exactly.
Let alone not living in the present moment, but like, oh no, I got to finish this painting because it's due, you know, blah, 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 I can't go out and have fun with you guys. And then that night, you know, fun as shit happens. Like, oh dude, you should have been there, you missed it. But it's like you were too busy trying to finish a painting, bro. That's all you do. Go out and have fun.
Yeah.
You know? Clearly talking about myself. But yeah, I just think what you're saying is right.
Right. And like it's such a gray area too, because like at the same time on top of all that too, it's like you want to become so good at something, and the only way to do it is to continuously do it all day. And like, yeah, I mean, I guess not every fucking day, all day, every day, but like people do that, and they become extremely good at whatever that is every single day, you know. But it's like you want to become super good at that, but at the same time, I think a healthy balance of just having a hobby of doing something and then not wearing yourself out on it is like the way to go, because I feel like you'll become good at it eventually, just maybe not as fast. You become professional at whatever it is you want to do, but if you do that, eat, breathe, sleep that every single day, you'll get burnt out on it.
You definitely have to have balance.
Yeah, moderation.
Yeah, man, because it's like
same with like drinking and smoking pot. I feel like is like you don't have to do that every single day and like whatnot, but like you can't don't judge people that do, like, because like it can be done in moderation as long as you have time for this and this, but also at the end of the day just make sure that you're doing it like you're not wearing yourself out on anything.
You just have to be responsible. You just have to you gotta be responsible. You gotta be, in the present moment, and that's such a broad statement, but you just have to be responsible in the idea of like, look, if you fucking spend all your time eating Cheetos and jerking off, quote Breaking Bad, nothing's gonna fucking happen. Nothing's gonna happen. You're not gonna reach your goals. You're not gonna be successful.
I'm not saying that you can't do that. Just don't make it an everyday.
But that's the moderation of it. The being responsible. If you're fucking tired, then yeah, do that. But if you're doing that at 11 on a Thursday, you should probably go get a job. Come on, dog. But if it's after night, you've been working all day, you got shit done. Yeah. Then yeah, you can take a break to jerk off and eat Cheetos. Yeah. But like when that's your life.
Not in that order either.
What?
Not in that order.
I mean, I think both at the same time.
Yeah, essentially, dude.
But like if
you Cheetos down my urethra, shoot it out.
Gets clogged up,
That cheesy cum.
Jesus. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
If that's all you do, well, you'll get pretty good at it, right? Because anything you do, you get good at, So you would definitely get your urethra, for thoroughly primed and ready to go.
Nobody eats Cheetos and jerks off as well as I do. Name one fucking guy. That's fine. No, moderation, yeah. And that goes through, like, general life rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, moderation on not just hobbies, but work and home life.
Yeah.
And
I like that. Home life. Mm-hmm. Relationships. People.
Yeah. Make time for everything, but don't stress yourself out in the process.
Like, if you're with your girlfriend, I guess, I don't know. I've never had a girlfriend, but if you're with
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck's a girlfriend? Why do I care?
If you're just, if my mom listens to it, she'll understand why. But like for me, like I've just lived with my mom for so long, and these past couple of years for me and her have been so like stressful for multiple reasons. But it's like I'm getting so burnt out by being around my mom so much that it's like I can't be myself and happy around my mom. I can't be the person I want to be when I'm with my mom. Because I'm just so tired of being around her. And that would apply to anyone, not just my mom. It would apply to anyone. When you're just with, at least for me, like when I'm with someone for so long, this is why I think like I generally just haven't had a girlfriend, is because like for me, like I just like when I'm just around someone for so long, I get so just burnt out on them. And so it's like I love my mom to death, but it's like I just can't be around her anymore. It's been so long since I've been like in her presence. It's like I can't. Like I'm happy, but it's like I just feel depressed when I'm there because like I've just been around you so much. I need something new. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that's understandable, dude. Yeah. That's kind of how I was feeling when I was living with my mom temporarily. But then again, the issues I told you with her, just more the reason why. Just very hard to talk to. Very, very hard to talk to.
I mean, I think we've talked plenty on depressing, sad, deep stuff. What's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal?
I don't know. What comedy do you like? How about that? You like comedy. You are very funny.
I like all comedy.
This podcast has been, kind of serious. We've talked very deeply, but you're a very funny guy when you're out in the wild. You make jokes all the time.
Out in the wild.
Out in the wild.
Like the Wild Thornberrys kid. Like,
you're just very witty, Yeah. I just want to say that because I just don't think, like, not in a bad way. I just don't think this podcast episode shows it, just because we've been very serious. But you're very witty and funny. So it's like, what comedy do you like?
I mean, like, what's my favorite?
Like, what's your inspirations? For humor, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, definitely Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Like Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key. Those guys are comedy geniuses, which I don't know if you've ever even watched them.
Oh, yeah.
They're great.
Oh, yeah.
But they were in the beginning of White and Nerdy by Weird Al Yankovic in that music video. They're the two guys in the, you know, the song "Riding Dirty" by Chameleon.
I know the song, but I've never seen the music video of the Weird Al. But I do know White and Nerdy.
Yeah. So like he does the White and Nerdy version, but Key and Peele are the two guys that are substituting the original video in that video, which I thought, I don't know, I just want to bring that up because I was like, that's hilarious. I didn't even know that they were doing comedy that long, because that's a really old music video. Mm-hmm. But they were in that. I think they're great. I think they're definitely inspiration. Couple of my inspirations. And then Anthony Jeselnik, very, very dark humor. Mm-hmm. Very like one after another though. I just want to keep people laughing every fucking 10 seconds, dude. Like, that's kind of like the humor I'm into. Just like, I want people to laugh so fucking hard that they piss themselves, you know? Mm-hmm. And then like, hopefully I can like smell it after the show. Just kidding.
Have you thought about doing stand-up?
Huh?
Have you ever thought about doing stand-up?
I mean, I feel like you've asked me this outside of this podcast, and my answer still is the same. No, because of stage fright. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, actually, I've thought about it, obviously. Mm-hmm. But I think I'd crack under pressure on stand-up. I don't know if I'm that tough yet.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's like, the toughest thing to do in front of an audience, dude, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This comedy. Because it's, like, you have to make them laugh. You have to. Like, I don't know, I guess there, same goes with, like, magic shows and stuff. Like, you have to obviously pull the trick off correctly, but, I don't know, man. It's weird because comedy is so subjective. Yeah. But not everyone's going to think, like, what you say is funny. Mm-hmm. So it's a really hit and miss with the stand-up. I just feel like I'd rather record something and, like, make a scene or a movie with comedy, like sketch comedy, like I was saying, than stand-up. Mm-hmm. However, I feel like, obviously, every comedian has to have, like, a stand-up stage.
That's not necessarily true.
Not necessarily
That's like
true.
the same.
I just feel like that's like the recognition.
I definitely think you should. I definitely don't think that a successful comedian doesn't do stand-up. But at the same foot, there's always a new, you don't have to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the stereotype of, like, every artist, painter has to be depressed and a fucking crazy bastard, and, like, that's just not true. You know, like, the people that created Disney, not Walt Disney, because he was kind of crazy, but, like, the people that first animated The Jungle Book, or Little Mermaid, not all those fucking people were crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, they were just normal people that like to draw. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, we've been recording for almost 2 hours, so it's like, you can do this, you're fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? It is about taking that first step and actually doing it, you know?
Yeah. Hands down, dude. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I could do it, and I feel like I definitely have the comedy skill to make people laugh in a stand-up show and be able to do it. I would have to get over my stage fright before I could do that. So I think it'd be baby steps at a time. But yeah, I mean, I love all comedy, dude. Mm-hmm. Anything. Dad jokes, clean jokes, dirty jokes, dark jokes, racist jokes. Mm-hmm. Like, not to sound like a dick, but I love it all, dude. I think you can laugh at anything, like, whether it's fucked up or not. I mean, I guess there's a time and place for everything, but at the same time, like, dude, I mean, comedy's pretty savage and relentless, dude. What? I mean, it's supposed to be, dude. You're supposed to kind of hit out of boundaries with that, because, I don't know. It's also a form of like movement, dude. It's almost like a movement at the same time, because you say things that people are scared to say. Yeah. In a funny way, and you kind of like make a statement with it, depending on like where you're standing as far as your comedy is. It's
medicine too.
Yeah.
And to go what you're saying about like the dark comedy or whatever, and all kinds of comedy is I don't know if it was, I don't know who said it, so I'm not gonna try to guess. But the philosophy of it is, if you can't joke about one thing, then you can't joke about anything.
Yeah.
Because that means that thing's special. You know, there's a time and place for everything. But at the end of the day, if you can't joke about blank, then you can't. If you can't joke about C, then you can't joke about A, B.
It sounds a lot like the creators of South Park.
I think that is what it is. I think it's South Park. I think it was South Park that I got that from. Because I love South Park.
Oh, dude, me too.
South Park's definitely like top tier in my opinion.
It's very obnoxious. It's goofball comedy, and I love goofball comedy.
Yeah.
I just love, like, Dumb and Dumber, one of my favorite movies. Goofball comedy to a T.
Yeah.
And I just fucking love it, dude.
Uh-huh.
It's so funny. It's so stupid and so funny, dude. Everything they say in that movie is just like, Jesus Christ, dude. I love it.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
Are you talking about Beavis and Butthead Go to like America? Right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a classic.
I know. I love Beavis and Butthead. I was just watching Robot Chicken the other day, and they were on an episode of Robot Chicken, and it was like the Teen Titans, and they like recruited new members for their force, and it's Beavis and Butthead, and he's like, oh, that's so stupid. You know, just like saying dumbass shit while they're, you know, into like the Teen Titans like laboratory or whatever.
Yeah.
It's so funny, dude. I don't know. Seth Green, he's also really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Very comedic. Seth MacFarlane, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Comedic fucking genius right there.
I've been watching some Family Guy, and I used to not like Family Guy, but I'm gonna have to take that back because it's pretty funny.
Dude, yeah.
Honestly,
a lot. You have to know a lot of references to get Family Guy as well. American Dad is also created by Seth MacFarlane.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more pop culture, or not pop culturized, less pop culturized. It's more based off of just like the show itself.
Mm-hmm.
Family Guy is kind of like pop culturized. It's like they make fun, like every new season. There's just like they make fun of iPhones and man buns and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they definitely. I love Family Guy, dude. And Seth MacFarlane in general is just like a creative genius, dude. He really is like creative mind and comedy mind. And then Seth Rogen, dude. All the Seths, dude.
All the Seths. Seths are just funny.
They really are.
I guess
Seth Rogen's hilarious, dude.
Too bad his name's not Seth.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, I'm glad it isn't, to be honest. I hate that name. But I'm kind of glad I have the name I have.
You have a really unique name. I wanted to ask you, what is like that from? Is your family like Norwegian or something? Russian?
I fucking wish, dude. No, we're Mexican. My mom just found my name in the name book.
Well, that's kind of fucking lame.
All right. I shouldn't have told you. I should have said it came from, you know, the blood written on my great-great-uncle's knight in shining armor after he killed the Aztecs in fucking Spain. Or I don't even know history, dude. But you know what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah.
And it passed on from generation to generation. Iniko.
Iniko.
No. Yeah, it's just from a fucking... It's actually... The name Iniko is my name.
Yeah.
And it stands for... It's Iniko. And I guess my mom found it in a name book, and it stands for Times of Trouble.
Ooh.
Which is true.
Yeah.
I mean, I turned out to be a troublemaker. Right? I'm causing fucking hell.
Well...
Spanking asses and taking names, or however that saying goes.
I don't think that's how they say it.
Like
I think it's kicking
ass and
kicking asses,
eating ass and taking names.
I don't think that's it either.
I would love to do that. I don't know.
Are you ready to see your painting?
I'm ready to see the pain.
So it doesn't look necessarily like you. Okay.
Is it the emotions of me?
I don't know. It's honestly, this is the first time we're doing this. So I don't know.
Oh wait, you've never done a painting on anyone else?
Yeah, the first one.
Oh jeez, dude.
So there you are.
Holy crap, you got that done all within this time?
Yeah, man.
I like it.
Yeah, it doesn't look necessarily like you.
No. Like you said though, when you told me at work, it's like cartoony almost, like
for sure.
Animated.
It definitely could look more like you, just in general. But I mean, it's not bad.
No, dude, I think you got the hair on point.
I think you'd get the gist by looking at it, like, oh, yeah, it's him.
Dude, you put like a Freddy Krueger shirt on me though.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be like your shirt has like.
Oh.
But.
Yeah, I forgot I was wearing a sweater, to be honest, dude.
That can work too. Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Dude, I like it, bro. You did that all within this fucking time? While you were talking?
Mm-hmm. You were here.
Yeah, I know. That's like a multitasking, dude. Damn.
Practice.
There you go, bro.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
I think we've covered all bases, really. Nothing I can think of right now.
Alright, well, thank you for your time, sir.